Struggling to mix things up in the bedroom? Worried that your sex life is getting too stale? Too scared to try kink? Well, stay tuned to find out which kind of sex is best for you. Hello and welcome back to my channel. As always, I am Matt from Cleveland Sex Therapy. I'm a licensed clinical therapist and certified sex therapist. Today's video is a breakdown of kinky sex and vanilla sex. What are they? Which one is better? And how to know which one is right for you. Let's start off with the most well-known kind of sex. This is vanilla sex. Fun fact, the term vanilla sex was coined by a man who thought that the best kind of sex that you could have was this kind of sex. And his favorite kind of ice cream and the best kind of ice cream that ever existed was vanilla ice cream. Hence why he coined this kind of sex, vanilla sex. Now, for some of you, vanilla sex is going to be the best kind of sex you've ever had. For others, you may want to try different kinds of ice cream flavors. And that's why in a little bit, we're going to talk some about kinky sex. But first, back to vanilla sex. It can be defined in two ways. The first way is by looking at what kind of sex are we having. This kind of sex, typically had by cisgender heterosexuals, is one that follows the traditional path of initiation, kissing, maybe some oral. Then it definitely leads to penetration with an orgasm by the penis owner, and it has evolved into having orgasms for everybody involved. It is pretty straightforward. And the other way we would describe vanilla sex is basically sex that does not involve exploration and really promotes routine over novelty. Kinky sex can be defined in many ways as well, and the first way we define it is basically just saying anything that's not vanilla sex. Another way is saying that it promotes novelty and exploration over routine. To me, the best way to define kink would to say it's a kind of sex and intimacy that does not follow traditional societal scripts that all of us would consider to be normal. Basically meaning that sex does not always have to lead to penetration. Sex is whatever you make of it. It can be trying new things. But most importantly, I think it means putting yourself in a position of exploring your sexuality, which then leads us to being really vulnerable. From BDSM to anal sex to blindfolds to water sports, it can all be kinky if it is new to us. Well, let me first just start by saying that there is no form of consenting sex that is better than another. So with that being said, let's talk about the pros and cons of each. Vanilla sex provides us such a safe environment to have sex with our partner. There is such a comfort and safety when we are doing something that we know with somebody that we like. On the flip side, the routine kind of intimacy can get really boring for some people. It can also tap into our muscle memory, and muscle memory can hurt us when it comes to sex and intimacy. This is because after a while, we start to do things the same over and over again, and it makes us less attuned to our bodies and our partners. This sort of forced sameness can feel great for some, but extremely limiting for others. At the heart of kinky sex is novelty. It is exploration, and through this exploration, we get to discover all of these new areas within our sexuality that may have been hidden through sex negativity and purity culture. I say this often, but kink really is true freedom for individuals. The cons with kinky sex comes with the readiness that we feel when engaging in it. If we jump into it too quickly, it can cause a ton of anxiety and potential conflict in our relationships. It can also lead to a bad or traumatic experience, depending on our partners and what we are doing. When determining which one is right for you, there are a few things we need to consider. First, what is the purpose of sex for you? Is sex an important part of your life, or is it something you don't really prioritize? Second, how are you currently feeling about your sex life? Do you want to mix things up? Are you bored? If the answer to these things are yes, then maybe it's time to try some kink. And third, do you feel safe in your relationships to explore? Starting to engage with kink can be really, really vulnerable. So you want to make sure that you feel secure in your relationship. All right, so do you want to know my honest answer? I think both vanilla sex and kinky sex need to be incorporated into your relationships. The safe, routine vanilla sex combined with the novel, exploratory kinky sex is what's going to create a long-term, sustainable sexual relationship. That's all I got. What is your favorite kind of sex? What do you enjoy most about intimacy? Comment down below because I would love to hear. Until next time.